High above Earth, in the depths of space, the International Space Station floats, a testament to human ingenuity, a peaceful outpost in the vastness of the cosmos, a marvel of engineering and international cooperation. For years, it has been a symbol of progress, a place where nations have united in pursuit of knowledge. But space, as we know, is indifferent to our dreams. And there, in the void, in the quiet darkness, something is stirring, something otherworldly. It begins as a whisper, a flicker on the edge of perception, barely noticeable. But as the days pass, that whisper grows louder. And what was once a marvel of human achievement is now something else entirely. The station is no longer merely floating in space. It's caught in something much larger, something far more ancient. The crew, men and women who have spent years training for the rigors of life in space, have seen it all. From the daily grind of experiments to emergency procedures, nothing ever truly surprises them. Until now. At first, it's almost imperceptible. A tool misplaced here, a console flickering there. They write it off as the quirks of living in a metal tube orbiting Earth. But then the glitches begin to increase. The readings become erratic. The equipment begins to fail in ways that seem impossible. Instruments that have always been dependable start showing strange anomalies. The data doesn't align. It's as though something or someone is messing with the very fabric of their reality. The station that once felt like a controlled environment is starting to feel alien. One astronaut, let's call her Emma, is reviewing the station's data when something catches her eye. The readings are completely off. The numbers don't add up. At first, she thinks it's a glitch. She runs the diagnostics, double-checks the system, but nothing explains the anomalies. And then, as if to mock her growing suspicion, the lights flicker above her head. It's brief, but enough to make her pause. She turns, half expecting to see something. But there's nothing there. Nothing but the cold emptiness of space. She shakes her head, trying to push away the creeping unease. But that's when she notices it again, a slight movement. A tool, once carefully placed, now floating away as if it had been nudged. She catches it midair, her heart pounding. Something is wrong here, and it's not just the equipment. As the crew continues their work, the small disturbances begin to grow, and their significance becomes harder to ignore. Tools that float, objects that disappear and reappear, sounds that shouldn't exist in the vacuum of space. The crew begins to feel the weight of something unseen pressing down on them. And then, in the midst of this confusion, something even stranger happens. A piece of equipment, which had been secured just hours earlier, now appears in a different part of the station. No one saw it move. It's as though the station itself has developed a mind of its own, a presence that is aware of their every action, observing their every step. It's subtle, but it's undeniable. Then comes the pulse. It starts as a flicker, a small anomaly in the lights. At first, they think it's a short circuit, but it's something more. It pulses, rhythmic, like a heartbeat. Each pulse sends ripples through the station's systems, each one stronger than the last. The lights flicker, not in random patterns, but in a specific, deliberate rhythm. The crew watches, transfixed by the unnatural glow, wondering what it means. Is this a system malfunction? Or is something else at work? Something far more dangerous than they could ever imagine? The pulse is growing, almost in sync with their own heartbeats. There is no escaping it. There is no place to hide. They are trapped in this cycle, at the mercy of something they cannot comprehend. And then, through the observation window, they see it. A shape, a dark, shifting silhouette, barely visible against the backdrop of distant stars. For a moment, They think it's a trick of the light, a reflection from inside the station. But as they focus, they realize it's not. It's there, outside, moving, slowly, deliberately. Its form is too irregular to be a satellite, too fluid to be debris. What could it be? No human-made object behaves like that. No natural phenomenon moves in such a way. It is other. They try to communicate with mission control, but the signal, the connection, everything begins to fail. Their voices fall into static, distorted, like they're speaking through a veil, a thick, impenetrable wall of interference. And that's when it becomes clear they are not alone. Just when they think the worst is over, they see something even more unsettling, a massive energy field, pulsing with an eerie, unnatural glow. It's not something they can comprehend, not a phenomenon they can explain away. It grows larger with each passing second, its presence filling the entire horizon outside their windows. The energy pulses like an ancient rhythm, a force too powerful to be anything but deliberate. It moves toward them, slowly, unhurried. No one knows what it is. No one knows why it's here. But the crew can feel it. Its energy ripples through the station, distorting their perception of reality itself. The laws of space, of time, seem to be bending, shifting, as though they've entered a new realm. But what realm? And what does it want? Every attempt to reach Earth is met with failure. The signal is delayed, distorted, garbled beyond recognition. Mission control cannot hear them clearly. What should have been a routine transmission becomes a desperate plea for help. But it's as if the very fabric of space itself is resisting them. The communications are warped, twisted, as though the distance between them and Earth is being stretched to a breaking point. The crew, once certain of their safety and purpose, now feels completely isolated, cut off from the world below and from any sense of certainty. The distortion in the airwaves is not just a technical problem, it's a warning. One astronaut floats near the airlock, staring out into the infinite abyss. The station seems stable, the darkness of space calm. And then, without warning, a strange pulse of energy slices through the void. It's sharp, sudden, a powerful force that distorts the very view of space. The stars bend. The fabric of reality itself shudders. Time seems to stop for a moment, a flicker that warps everything around them. The astronaut feels the pulse before they see it, a deep vibration that shakes the very air, even in the vacuum of space. There is no escape. There is no safe distance from this force. It is coming for them. As the days stretch into weeks, the crew begins to unravel in ways they could never have anticipated. The isolation weighs heavier, the distortions growing ever more surreal. Hallucinations become more frequent. One astronaut looks into the reflection of a window, only to see an entire galaxy swirling within it. The stars, not outside, but inside the station, in the glass itself. The line between reality and illusion has vanished. Space has become something else entirely. And the crew, once sharp and focused, now find themselves drowning in uncertainty. What's real and what's not? What if the ISS is no longer just a station? What if it is something far darker, caught in an ancient, unknowable force, lost in a space beyond time, beyond reality? They are not merely orbiting Earth. They are drifting through something far older. And there is no way out. Not unless they understand what has happened to them. Not unless they uncover the truth behind this force, this pulse, this presence. The only question left now is, who is in control?